I had what we call the ego death. When it happened to me, my whole world was turned upside down. Everything about me became death, shattered, turned upside down. But then I was forcefully clinging to my ego side, the ego that wanted power, the one that wanted control, the one that wanted to live my life on my own accord, the one that put desires in my head, although I thought it was my dream, my purpose, where I needed to be. When I had the experience months ago, when my ego death died, like I said, it opened up my eyes to so many things that I realized that before something happens physically, it happens in the spirit. It doesn't just happen overnight. It happens with subtle movements, subtle situations, subtle alignment. But the ego death is that part of you that refuses to grow, that refuses to make you become a greater person. Sometimes the main reason why people don't change is not because of it will help them if they do, is because of they are so used to their shattered and useless self the way they are before. They are so used to it. And a lot of people really do not like you like that. If you're in that state, you think that just because of you go around with people, you have a conversation with them. Sometimes, if you're living in your ego, people do not like you more than they like you because you say dull and useless things. You sound stupid. Although people do not tell you that you are this way, they will just be using you, manipulating you because people like you when you are broken. But when the ego death occurs, when it happens to you, you start to see your power. The power is not that you could not be controlled. It's that now you are beginning to live in your alignment, although people do not like it when they can control you. It's not that you're a dog or an animal that's supposed to be locked up or chained. No, I'm not talking about that. The ego death is not just about control. It's about living your authentic self. And a lot of people will find that triggering because all their lives, there's nothing authentic about them. Here's one example. Everybody wants to film a video, right? Everybody wants to have something to say. But the reason why I deem my channel to be different is when I had that ego death, it changed my perception on content, speaking, expression. I'm not here to perform or speak to the world. I'm just here to just speak and express myself. And ever since I started doing that, it changed my life completely. I noticed so many things about myself. Firstly, my power increased, my energy increased as well. The way that I speak, I express myself in a more meaningful way improved as well. But most importantly, I started to have my own thoughts, my own way of speaking. If I'm speaking my own or sharing my ideas, I'm not picking it from anywhere else. I'm speaking from my own authenticity. Like I said before, this channel is about me expressing myself and sharing my dreams. I'm just speaking what I believe to be true, although I'm not saying I'm the most perfect one or my words are true. Like I said, only those with some form of high intelligence will understand the thing that I say. Although other people tell me, oh, why don't you make video about tech and IT? Even though I know about these things, they really do not resonate with me because that's not me. Just sitting down here, writing down my topic, expressing myself to my highest and honest truth gives me so much joy. But also, ever since I started living my life in a more authentic way, I'm beginning to see the whole demons around me, not the ones in the TV where they wear black clothes. Oh, demons do exist, not just in the spiritual realm. The demons in human beings are way more dangerous than the one in spirit. The one in spirit will only come to you when you dream it, when you open the door and they come in. But the one in human form, man, that shit is crazy. Some people are so demonic, are so dark that they are not human. There's nothing real about them. And if you're living your life on authentic way, it will trigger a lot of insecure people because they have nothing to say. There was this one time I had this experience. I'm someone who is usually verbally open and free. Having conversation with people wasn't something I usually knew how to do, but I picked it up when I stopped performing for the world, when I started to live in my own authentic way, when I started to express myself and say what I believe to be true. Here's an example. If I went to a bar with a couple of my friends, I think we're like three or four, can't remember, and uh the waiter came. She was putting on one of my like metal shirts. I listen to metal and metalhead, listen to metal music. And I told you, oh, thank you for putting on that shirt. She was like, oh, she doesn't know what it is. And I told her, you're putting on Slipknot, one of my favorite heavy metal bands. And that song, that band, it's they've created songs that really change the world in a more positive way. Also, they've created tunes that made other small artists become way more cleaner, better. The way they record their music, I love it. And also, their style of music has also impacted a lot of people. It impacted me as well. And that band you're putting on, that album is called The Great Chapter. You see what I did there? I only just spoke what I believe to be true. I was just expressing myself. And she smiled and she left. Later, she'll pass by to say hi, hello again, and we're talking. And the people there find out to be off. One of them said, okay, you're doing too much. Why are you always trying to? Now, I didn't even do that. I just spoke because of what I saw. And like I said, if you're not living your life in an authentic way, you're going to get triggered. I never did anything wrong. I never asked out. I never said anything sexually. I only just gave her the compliments for putting on that shirt. And that was all I did. Living the authentic way would trigger a lot of people, but also you get to see the darkness in them as well. But living authentically will also show you that this world belongs to you. Will see it. It's said exactly in the Bible, men should have dominion over the possessions of this world. I think most people read the Bible by just reading, but not to understand and express it. So if you are going to live your life in a more authentic way, maybe you have a skill you're good at, something you know how to do. Fuck what people think. Do it. Own that skill to maximum. Sometimes when you are totally good at something and your friend or your colleague or the people beside you don't know how to do it, rather for them to acknowledge that skill that you have and help you own it, they will try to dim your light because they have nothing to offer. I call them the NPCs, the non-play character. They have no goals, no skills, no aspiration, really nothing to do. All they do is find people with skills, passions, and goals, and then to diminish them. Remember, live your life a more authentic way and watch how your life will change for good. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. I will see you in the next video.